The senior royals put on a show of unity last night as they posed for an all-smiles picture at a glitzy palace bash. Charles, Camilla, William and Kate all dazzled as they hosted 500 diplomats in the palace staterooms. But an official photo is not a regular occurrence at the annual event. Their show of togetherness comes after a turbulent week, whereas I'm sure you know by now, the release of Omid Scobie's royal biography Endgame reignited a royal race row. Joining me in the studio, royal commentator Afua Hagan. Hello.
Hello.
I mean, it's nice to see them all smiling, isn't it?
It is nice to see them all smiling, definitely. I mean, like we said, this picture doesn't usually happen. It will usually happen before a state visit. So there's definitely a statement being made, and that is that the Fab Four are back, that this is a real show of unity. And also, this event was probably the first opportunity that King Charles III would have had to speak to the Prince and Princess of Wales in person about what has been happening over the past week. And it's all about showing that the monarchy continues despite what's going on elsewhere. We are still here. We are still doing the job, doing the business of soft diplomacy. That is what they are saying when they show this kind of picture, when they take this kind of picture and when it's released as well.
It had been said during the week that, you know, as a response to Omid Scobie's book, particularly the fact that the names were leaked in the Dutch edition, the royal family might take action and had not ruled out the possibility, which sounded as if they might take legal action, but it hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't happened yet. Those discussions are still ongoing. It could be a case that the King, Queen, and the Prince and Princess of Wales decide to release a joint statement. They might decide not to do anything at all. They might decide that they want to go down the route of taking legal action, or they might decide to actually speak about the deeper issues, the issues of race and the royal family. At the moment, it's been a week, right? We haven't had anything from them, but it doesn't mean that they've decided to do nothing. And I think they are considering very seriously what action they should take, if any, because by doing something, you know, that also gives a bit of power to the other side, doesn't it?
Yes.
And by leaving it, people will say, are you burying your heads in the sand? So those discussions are still ongoing.
Do you think there was anything signified or signalled by the clothing worn last night? Kate was in gold.
Yep.
Beautiful dress. I think a Jenny Packham dress.
It was a Jenny Packham.
Was it proclaiming anything particular, do you think?
I mean, it was white tie and tiara was the dress code. Kate was wearing a lover's knot tiara. Queen Camilla was wearing a tiara that was once owned by Queen Elizabeth II. And she was also wearing a dress by Fiona Clare. It's just all about the glitz and the glamour and showing how polished they can be when absolutely necessary. And like I said, showing that they are there doing the job of soft diplomacy, of showing the soft power that the royal family has and brings to Great Britain.
All right, now on a lighter note, or you might say a seaside postcard note, or you might say a raunchy note, depending on what the heck the content's gonna be.
Yeah.
We're hearing about a sort of sexed up sort of sideline for the crown.
We are. So this is a potential, and it's only a potential spin-off, and Peter Morgan, one of the executive producers and writers of The Crown, has said it has to be a very specific set of circumstances that would allow for a spin-off to occur. So the spin-off they're talking about could have all raunchy moments that have been missed out in The Crown, whether that is the Duchess of York and a toe-sucking incident, or Prince Andrew's affair with a Hollywood actress, or any of the other things that have gone on that didn't make it to the first 6 series of The Crown. Part 2 of season 6 is dropping next week. So there's been talks, like I said, a very specific of circumstances that could lead to a season of all those raunchy moments. I think it would have to be about timing. I think it would have to be whether they think it's right to tell those stories. Right. I think it would be as well, you know, when the second part of season 6 drops, what's the reaction to that? And if there is an appetite to even see this kind of stuff.
What do you mean, if there's an appetite? Anything raunchy, there's always an appetite.
Always an appetite.
And there's been enough very serious kind of content in The Crown, hasn't there?
Yeah, definitely.
It might be absolutely hilarious to see Carry On Up the Royals or whatever it was.
Might be.
Of that ilk.
Never know.
Something of that ilk. I'm not saying I would watch it, but you know.
But many people would.
I'm not saying I wouldn't watch it either. It might be like to have some light good humour for a change.
Exactly.
Afua, a real pleasure having you here. Thank you very much indeed.